Hey guys, Storytell like it is, covering the Italian Serie A race for the Scudetto. The irony of Juventus' draw against Crotone. This was a very significant game for the Bianconeri because Juventus was defending a 6-year Scudetto streak and had a 6-game lead with 6 games left entering this game with Crotone. And they happened to draw this game against Crotone. In this video, I explain how ironic the draw for Juventus against Crotone is, and I have that answer for you. It is because that draw against Crotone single-handedly kept Napoli in the Scudetto race. Even with the Napoli win over Juventus, if Juventus picked up the 2 points against Crotone, they would have still had a 3-game lead over Napoli, and they had the goal differential and whatnot, and it would just been too much to overcome. So it is Crotone that is giving the fighting spirit for Napoli and the Neapolitans, because it is Napoli that ends their season at home against Crotone. Napoli is going to lift the Scudetto against Crotone. How ironic is this? The draw against Crotone keeps Napoli in the Serie A race. They end the year against Crotone. So how much of a tribute is Crotone? But what I did find very interesting, in gematria, this is a phrase in Italian. Forza Napoli means power and strength to Napoli. Notice how Forza Napoli in gematria equals 61. With Beppe Marotta, the Juventus CEO, Juventus would have won 6 Scudettos and lose 1 before next year's final played on June the 1st. Us Americans, June the 1st can be written out as 6-1. This is what's significant about the phrase Forza Napoli and Beppe Marotta having 6 Scudettos in 1 year where he doesn't win it. It's all based on gematria and numerology. Forza Napoli, power and strength to Napoli, but look at the Zionists here mocking Juventus in the phrase fino al fine, to the end. Power and strength to Napoli, to the very end for Napoli. That phrase in gematria, in Pythagorean gematria, the use of singular digits through the alphabet in gematria equals 120. What's interesting about Forza Napoli to the very end for them was that this Scudetto race was very scripted from the beginning. It is because this year's Juventus season is its 120th season in existence. I tell you, the Zionists were mocking Juventus. I want you to notice in this draw against Crotone that they scored a miracle bicycle kick in the 65th minute, and the coach for Napoli, his gematria equals 65. It's going to be very special to the Neapolitan native because it was his coaching up the players on his roster and not asking to buy players, working with the squad he has in hand, help Napoli have one of the most beautiful footballing styles in Europe right now. But the date numerologies are going to be very significant. The time span from Maurizio Sarri's birthday of January the 10th to the end of the season against Crotone is a time span of 131 days. 131 days from January the 10th, Sarri's birthday, to the end of the season against Crotone, 131 days. That's a special number in English gematria because championship in gematria equals 131. But Napoli are champions of Italy. I Napoli sono campioni d'Italia. That phrase is very significant for itself because Napoli are champions of Italy. I Napoli sono campioni d'Italia in gematria equals 131. 131 days separate Maurizio Sarri's birthday and the final game of the season. This is just how your Serie A is rigged and scripted by the numbers. Juventus, unfortunately for my Juventus, they're gonna lose against AC Milan in the Coppa Italia, and they're gonna go down against Napoli. Just I hate to say it, but I'm a numerologist first, and I'm a numerologist first before a fan. But I love my club so much, but I have to be real with you, and I have to be frank with you. It just is how it is, and I don't have these heartbreaking emotions or any of that anymore when I know that sports are rigged and scripted by the numbers. But I promise you, next year's going to be a special season for the Bianconeri. The documentary First Team Juventus, released by Netflix, it's just all about the fighting spirit of Juventus and just all of the heartbreaks associated with it, and just how Buffon is going to fight until the very end to go ahead and have that fighting hunger to complete something special next year, which would be to win a treble and to win the Champions League finally, to fight until the very end. And the Netflix documentary is going to be all about the fighting phrase fino al fine, to the very end for Juventus, all the way to defeat and all the way to our ultimate goals. It's just about never giving up for Allegri and for Galliani and Buffon and company, and everyone else on the Juventus squad, including Paulo Dybala, who could easily leave for another club, but he's going to stay for another year. So better things are going to come. Congratulations to Napoli for winning the Scudetto. The bicycle kick in the 65th minute after 64 prior minutes is Juventus Football Club equals 64. The 64th Champions League next year is going to be a major clue of what's to come for the Bianconeri.